They only respect you when you walk away, not when you stay. Have you ever wondered why the moment you stop caring, they suddenly start chasing? Why do they only apologize when you're gone? Why do they only notice your worth when you're no longer available? Let's stop pretending. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The truth is brutal, but it's simple. They only respect you when you walk away, not when you stay. Not when you stay and forgive them for the 10th time. Not when you stay and keep explaining yourself. Not when you stay and hope they'll change. Because when you stay, you're silently saying, "It's okay to treat me like this. I'll tolerate less than I deserve. You can hurt me and I'll still be here." And they believe you. Because actions speak louder than words. Because staying sends a louder message than screaming. You can cry, beg, argue, talk for hours trying to fix things, but none of it matters as much as walking away in silence. Do you feel it? That weight on your chest? That burning question. Why do I keep being the one who tries? You're not alone. Millions of people stay, hoping that love will fix what self-respect is slowly destroying. But the truth is, respect is not given to those who stay. Respect is earned by those who choose themselves. This video is not about revenge. It's not about ego. It's about you remembering one powerful thing. You are not made to beg. You are not made to be almost enough. You are not meant to be a backup plan. The ones who lose you will only realize your worth when your silence replaces your explanations. So listen closely. Because after today, you'll never look at staying the same way again. Let's get one thing clear. You are not disrespected because you are weak. You are disrespected because you are too available. In a world where attention is currency, your constant presence makes you cheap. They don't value what's always there. They don't cherish what they can use whenever they want. They don't respect the one who never walks away. Why? Because human nature is simple. We only notice absence. We only learn to appreciate something after we lose it. And deep down, you've always known this. You've seen it in relationships. The more you text, the less they respond. The more you give, the less they offer. The more you stay, the more they take you for granted. But you stayed. Because you thought staying meant loyalty. Because you thought explaining yourself would change them. Because you believed that if you loved harder, they would finally see your worth. But let's tell the truth now. Love doesn't change people. Standards do. They didn't hurt you because they didn't love you. They hurt you because there were no consequences. Because every time they broke your heart, you glued it back together and handed it right back to them. And they smiled. Not because they're evil, but because they knew. You won't leave. Do you understand now? You were never lacking love. You were lacking boundaries. You were never too emotional. You were just invested in the wrong person. And they knew it. They knew you'd come back. They knew your silence was temporary. They knew your anger would fade. And so they waited, calmly. Because they've seen this movie before. But here's what they've never seen. You choosing yourself, you walking away, you not looking back. That's the version of you they fear. That's the version of you they suddenly respect. Because respect isn't born from comfort. It's born from distance, from limits, from loss. They say, if you love something, let it go. But most people only learn to love you after you let go. And if that's not clear enough, just look at your past. When did they finally realize your value? After you stopped texting? After you stopped explaining? After you stopped showing up? Not when you cried. Not when you forgave them. Not when you stayed and gave them chance after chance. No. They respected you the day you chose silence over begging. They respected you the day you walked away without a scene. Because that's when you became someone they could no longer control. And that's the truth most people are afraid to admit. You are respected the moment you become unavailable, not a second before. Here's what you need to understand. You don't need to scream to be heard. You don't need to beg to be loved. You don't need to stay to prove anything. You only need to do one thing: leave. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. You don't even have to block them. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to write a final message. You just stop showing up where you are not respected. You stop participating in your own humiliation. You stop negotiating with people who benefit from your confusion. Because here's the truth. You don't need closure. You need clarity. And clarity begins the moment you walk away. Start here. 1. Stop explaining. If they don't see the damage, your words won't fix it. If they don't respect your silence, they never respected your voice. 2. Stop hoping. Hope is beautiful, but when it becomes a weapon used against your self-worth, it turns into poison. You're not waiting for a better version of them. You're wasting the best years of you. 3. Stop chasing. You can't force someone to value you. You can't teach someone how to love you right, especially if they benefit from doing it wrong. 4. Start choosing peace over drama. If every conversation leaves you drained, if every interaction feels like a war, that's not connection. That's addiction. 5. Choose silence. Silence is not weakness. It's power. It's the power of detachment. The power of saying, I no longer give this situation the privilege of disturbing my mind. 6. Rebuild your standards. The people you allow in are a reflection of what you think you deserve. So stop lowering your standards to keep others comfortable. 7. Learn this one rule. No reaction is the loudest reaction. When you ignore them, they panic. When you stop explaining, they notice. When you disappear, they realize. Not everyone deserves a second chance. Some people didn't even deserve the first. And if they hurt you once and got away with it, don't be surprised when they do it again. Your kindness doesn't change them. Your patience doesn't fix them. Only your absence forces them to face what they've lost. So, detach. Emotionally, mentally, physically. Not because you're heartless, but because you finally understand. You were not created to endure mistreatment and call it love. This is not about becoming cold. This is about becoming clear. You're not hard to love. You were just too easy to access. You don't need to change who you are. You need to stop offering who you are to people who don't value it. And yes, it will hurt at first. Walking away always does. But staying hurts longer. And one day, you'll thank yourself. You'll thank yourself for every moment you chose peace over chaos, for every time you said no more, for every time you closed the door that was slowly killing your spirit. You will realize, walking away is not the end. It's the beginning of everything that was waiting for you. From this moment on, you don't beg, you don't chase, you don't explain. You walk. Not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough to stop proving your worth. You walk away, with your head high, because you now understand the more you tolerate, the less they value you. The more you give without limits, the more invisible you become. So today, something shifts. Today, you stop being the one who stays out of fear. You become the one who leaves with dignity. Let them wonder why you're not calling. Let them feel the silence you used to fill with love. Let them experience the absence of the one who never gave up on them, until now. Because now, you give up. Not on them, but on the version of you that accepted crumbs. The version of you that made excuses for disrespect. The version of you that kept waiting for someone to change. That version of you is gone. Buried. And what rises in its place? Someone unshakable. Someone silent, but powerful. Someone who doesn't need closure, permission, or approval. Because the new you doesn't ask for respect. You embody it. You don't teach people how to love you anymore. You remove yourself from anyone who refuses to learn. This is your line in the sand. No more second chances for first offenses. No more late-night overthinking. No more wondering if you're good enough. Because now you know you were always enough. They just weren't ready for someone who couldn't be manipulated. So let this be your promise. From today forward, my silence will speak louder than my words. My absence will echo louder than my presence. My peace will be non-negotiable. And my worth will never be up for discussion again. If you've made it this far, don't leave without making a choice. Don't just nod. Don't just feel inspired for a moment. Type this in the comments right now. I walk away without explanation. That's your first act of power. Your first declaration of self-worth. Let the world know you've chosen peace. You've chosen yourself. And if you know someone who's stuck, giving too much, staying too long, shrinking to be accepted, send them this video. Don't explain it. Just say, watch this. All of it. Alone. Because sometimes one video is all it takes to wake someone up from years of self-betrayal. Let this be that video.